We in there. We are tuned in, locked in to another episode of Free Game Friday.
No Friday.
Free game. We got a real special guest today.
Sir.
TWISTA.
Woo! Let's go.
Yep. You right here with it.
He just did some legendary shit too.
Oh my God. This nigga.
What's up, y'all?
Sheesh. Pull that mic to you. Yep.
What's up?
How has your time been with us so far? We only been together for like an hour and a half. Like hella shit happened.
Yeah, it's happening. It's been amazing, man. It's been fun. It's been what I thought it was gonna be, man. I've been having a real good time, man.
Fire.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. This is dope, man. You know, being right here on the couch, seeing y'all, you know, I was like, oh, the girl that was doing the poetry. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the whole thing is just dope, man.
Man, incredible. This is wild.
Oh God.
This is wild.
What up,
I've been so excited about this about to occur. I had to text you. I texted the nigga the other day and I'm like, we excited. Like, you feel me? It just felt like
I knew
what happened today was going to exist. Like, you could see it online, and just your character, just with the feature, how fast you got back to me, it was like, this is going to be a special moment.
Oh yeah. I had fun recording it too, man. I was glad. I was like, okay, he hit back. Okay, I get the opportunity to rap on this song. So it's going down.
I'm really gonna rap on this song.
Yeah, went straight to the studio.
You've had your fair share of legendary verses on legendary songs.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's been a ride, man. Like I've had many blessings, many pleasures through the whole game. Just being involved in hip hop this long, like I've been on some records that I'm really proud to be a part of. Yeah.
How'd you cause you got, what do they call your style of flow? Is it like machine gun flow? Like,
I've heard that. I've heard double time flow. I've heard a bunch of what is it? Chopping. I've heard just different versions of it. So,
what was the influence to take that style? Because you know when you coming up as an artist, you whatever you consume, like your flow usually come from whoever is your favorite at the time, or until you like find your lane. So how'd you end up in that lane?
It's crazy. That's crazy too. Okay, like my favorite rappers though at the beginning were like, first it was hearing rap. As you know, so I'm listening to Grandmaster Flash and the Sugar Hill Gang. So this was the introduction of it. But then when I actually started to want to do it was when I started to hear LL Cool J, the Fat Boys, Run DMC, these artists, especially like the Fat Boys and Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick is the reason I started rapping. Like that's what made me actually start doing it. And Rakim though, a lot of people don't see the similarities in the cadences, but a lot of what I do is built off of what I was listening to with Rakim. Like this brother will have so many patterns. I'm a brother because ideas are colorful, giving them insight, but giving them trouble to comprehend. You know what I mean? So he was killing it so much. So a lot of what I do comes from him. And at first it started in a more traditional hip hop way, and then it kind of morphed into what I was doing like in the Midwest with that slowed down, pimped out vibe a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you feel like when you started rapping, Chicago like embraced your style and your flow and how you came into the game, or they was like, the hell going on?
Not at first. Not at first, but at first what I was rapping about and what I was trying to do was a little different, because I was trying to rap and I was thinking more about lyrics, MCing, you know, it wasn't so much about subject matter. And then once I started to rap about things that were happening around me in Chicago and in my city, and actually be talking about things that people could relate to, that's when they started to embrace me.
Always. I got a question. I'm sure people be asking you this all the time, but how did they like clock you as the fastest rapper? Like, you hold the Guinness World Record. I think you still do.
I held it for a long time.
Okay, for a long time.
It's somebody new that has it now. I always forget his name. Shout out to him though.
But okay, so how do they do that? Like, they just picked a song and they're like, this how fast he was rapping, or you really had to?
It's how many syllables that you can get out in a minute. And they actually have an expert that will listen to what you do and make sure that you're actually getting out real syllables in between your bars.
So
Like,
you didn't
really
go in and do it. Somebody just clocked you and was like, nah, this the fastest rapper.
They timed it for a minute, and my goal was I was trying to do 600 syllables in a minute, so it turned out to be 598 syllables.
So you had to do it like in person?
In the studio in person, and I think they had somebody actually witness me do it, and then they had somebody listen to it afterwards.
So did somebody like reach out to you like, we think you hold, or it was like a goal of yours, like, I'm about to hold the Guinness World Record for this?
I didn't know anything about it until I got signed to Loud Records. That was, like a lot of people don't know, I was the first artist signed to Loud Records. So, boom, I was on Loud, and it was my man Fade Dunaway. Shout out to Fade. He was the one that actually discovered me from Loud and had me come out to California. And he was like, he had this idea of me actually going in and breaking the Guinness Book of Record. It was held by, I think, Daddy Freddie at the time. And it was like 520 something syllables at the time. So I was like, okay, let me do 600. And then I actually stopped on purpose because I could get up to like 650, 660, 70 like that. So I tried to give a little space because I thought somebody would come behind it. But years passed and nobody would do it. Yeah.
Was that like a publicity? Like when he sold it to you, was he like, this is going,
marketing?
Like marketing tactic?
Yes.
Or
it was just a marketing tactic in the beginning, and it worked.
Yeah, that's
it definitely worked. Yeah.
Was Loud like an indie or a major back then?
A promotion company. Yeah, they were more into promoting artists and records at the time. They were a promo company, and
what made you choose them?
They decided to turn into a label. And remember, I'm in Chicago, so to get any interest from anywhere outside of the city in terms of signing a deal was big. So that was the reason. And then just the thought process of being the first artist on a label that they were
their
starting.
priority.
Yeah, so I knew I would be prioritized.
Did you enjoy like the label experience?
It was new. It was very new to me. I did enjoy it somewhat, but I always wanted to have more control. So there were definitely times in my career where I wish I was independent. So definitely I wanted to have more control. And that's why I stayed independent for so long, like in the beginning, and then even after a record deal, like I never would go back into that because I like to have control, my freedom to do what I want to do with the music.
Yeah. Do you feel like staying indie allowed you to stay like rooted? Whereas like while you were on the label, do you feel like you had to travel a lot and maybe you spent less time at home?
Well, and it's funny when you say rooted. Well, I think in that time you wanted to get out and see things and move around and be in the game. So rooted was more so related to what kind of music you were making and what was actually true to you. So sometimes being with a major, you get into this field of having to compromise or being talked into compromising what you do, So in that aspect, I wanted to stay rooted and kind of do what I wanted to do with the music.
Man. So after Loud, was you with Loud like your entire journey, or did you go somewhere after that?
Loud, and then I went back independent for a while. Then we went to Atlantic Records through an indie in Chicago. So I still was on an indie called Creators Way Records, and through Creators Way is when Po Pimp and these records came out. So
this is way after Loud. So you were signed a minute before like Po Pimp. What song would you say was like your first one that hit that really broke you through?
Po Pimp. Yeah, it would be Po Pimp. That's the one that broke me
so
through.
you were still, is it Loud?
Yeah.
Loud.
Was that, so did you do Kamikaze through Loud, or that was?
Kamikaze was Creators Way / Atlantic Records.
Oh, okay.
So he was signed for a little while before those moments even happened.
Yeah, like my career is crazy. It would happen like 10-year phases. It was like my first experience, and then when I came out with a major record again was later on with like Adrenaline Rush, and then there was a long period again, and then I came with Kamikaze. So I just had an interesting career.
Wow.
Damn. What was so Kamikaze happens, it goes platinum. TWISTA. What was it like being
Man.
TWISTA at that time? Like, what was the world like for you?
It was fun. It was definitely more fun because I had more experience. You know, so it was fun during the time frame when I made Adrenaline Rush, but it was a lot of inexperience at the time, and you're young. But when I got to Kamikaze, I knew a little more. You know, certain mistakes not to make. I enjoyed the ride a little better.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you feel like you did differently with Kamikaze as opposed to Adrenaline Rush?
Made more hits, got to work with bigger artists, you know, music being more well-rounded, and music that I could put out to the public on a major label and didn't feel that compromise as much, even though it was still something for the masses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
How'd you come into Kanye?
Being in Chicago, I met Kanye. I think I met Kanye through my man Tumchi. One of my rap buddies, his name was Tumchi from Chicago, and he used to always tell me about Kanye. And we would go up north to the clubs and everything, and everybody would be up there rapping. Common used to hang there. A bunch of the early rappers in Chicago used to hang there. And Tumchi used to take me to his house sometime, and I got to listen to his beats and everything, and, you know, vibe with him. And we would get put out because his moms, you know, would be like, okay, it's time to chill out, you know. Things like that. So it was dope. So later on, when he started to really make moves and do his thing, he just was like, man, I want to get the Chi-Town legend on the record, man. And
Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
It seems like Chicago's rap scene has like how you were saying, happened in phases and like the decades. It seems like that's kind of how it's been for Chicago in terms of like rap. Were you like in touch, or did you have a hand in like any of the larger or other acts that ended up coming out of Chicago, like Chief Keef, Chance the Rapper, and whatnot?
A lot of those guys started to, like, we definitely cool. I hung out with them. You know, we all respect each other. But a lot of these guys broke into it on their own in a whole different aspect because you didn't have a lot of social media at the time, and you really didn't see Chicago like from the roots until you saw Chief Keef and his guys on the laptop, you know, in the room doing what they were doing. So a lot of the Chicago artists, through technology and social media and being able to actually be seen, then you got a chance to see that Chicago had real talent, and these guys were able to break out and do their thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's crazy because it was such a different era in means of like promotion. Like y'all had to really go outside and be like, I'm me and I rap and perform.
Right.
But that wasn't the case for like
Even like how you were saying y'all would all go to this spot and rap together. It's like, we don't do that.
Yeah.
seldom, right?
Like what?
It's crazy. It's definitely different. It's like things that people can do today, like 10 things simultaneously that we would literally have to travel to 10 different things. Yeah, so it was different.
Damn.
Yesterday, we went and seen you at Yoshi's, and I love the parts in between your set where you like will talk and communicate about the song and the stuff. You know, I like storytelling, and Hope is one of them records that's just like, I just feel like you could play that record for anyone, anywhere, any demographic, it don't matter where you from. If you've lived any kind of life, this song is going to resonate. And what was the backing behind? Like, did someone come to you to write that song, or was that just you like in one of those spaces in life of like, man, I need this one for me?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. It was. I felt it was time to go into that space. You know, I had did a lot of other things. It was like I was hiding from that space, and I knew I could take it there.
Wow.
I was like, okay, let me go ahead and take it somewhere that I know I can take it, and I want to make something special. Like my goal was to make something special.
And how did Faith Evans end up on it?
That was through me being signed to Atlantic Records. You know, like with Hope, I think one of my buddies, High Beam, was one of the first people to write on Hope. He writes a lot of hooks. Shout out to High Beam. And at one point, CeeLo ended up on the song.
Wow.
On the hook?
CeeLo, there's a version of Hope with CeeLo on it.
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What?
It's crazy. Yes.
Sheesh.
Oh man, I gotta start a conversation. Okay, talk about that later. But there's a version with him on it, yeah. And the label ended up grabbing Faith Evans. Like, man, she would be amazing for this song, and I was game for it, and she killed it. And man, she really took it there.
Right.
Did you, like, throughout your career start to notice that formula of, like, a female singer on the hook and then you rapping and then it's like hit instantly?
It definitely became a formula, an easy to see formula. And there were little things that I would know for myself that I would be like, okay, for me, my style can, like with my style, like I used to tell my buddies, okay, with my style, I should be able to easily make a hit. And then they would be like, why? I was like, because I rap to slow beats. That's the same tempo as R&B songs. And he was like, oh, they all, I was like, look, put on any R&B song. Then he started putting on any R&B song, and I would spit Po Pimp or all of my lyrics to all of the R&B songs.
And you know what's crazy? That's how you separate it. I be thinking about that because generally when niggas rap fast, they pick fast ass beats too, and it's too much.
Yeah.
But you having that blend, it puts you in this center space where it's like when we was just doing them live set and the keys is going, it, like you right in that pocket because it's blending two worlds.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
You meeting in the middle.
Yep. And so I used to think like that, even with house music. Like a lot of my songs go to the pace of a lot of house music and house songs that came out of Chicago.
Damn. Because it's really a science. Like it really be a science. It's music, so it's like it come from the heart, but when you like break it down, it's like
everything is like that. It's like food. The right ingredients make a certain flavor that's just like
it just
you gonna
hit
fuck
every
with.
time.
It's gonna hit.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
That's how it is. I'm always having fun with it.
Man.
So you've been rapping for decades. How have you been able to like stay relevant? Like you on a song with LaRussell.
Because that's crazy, right?
30 years in, you know.
That's crazy, right? That's crazy. Like at the top of the year, we doing this.
Right.
So, I mean, I think for me, it's because I love music, especially hip hop music. And if you are a true artist, you know, when things come out, you gravitate towards them. You're amazed by it. Like to this day, I feel the same way. Like if I hear a new song that comes out or a new rapper, I feel the same way now as I did when I was 18 years old about it.
Right.
So it's like, oh, you know, so this excitement. So I'm still childlike when it comes to the love of music. And when new music comes out, I really don't have to force myself in any way. Like, it's not like, well, let me try to like it because I need to like this because it's popular to them or them. Like, I will genuinely find the element or the essence of what it is that I'm listening to that makes everybody gravitate towards it. And so I'm just constantly with it, you know? So when I'm starting to write or do things, I'm still kind of fresh, I would say, in terms of the thought of hip hop or creating songs for the time frame or making timeless music.
That's beautiful. You gotta love it.
You have to, because that's a crazy thing. Like, for him to be in this early era, listening to Rakim, to making songs with Jamie Foxx and Kanye, and then you all the way at the end of this era with the LaRussell, it's like everyone doesn't even get that kind of longevity, you know, or ability. Some people sword get a little dull as it grows because they stop using it. But
a little diluted.
Man, to watch you do what you did today, like, I love seeing people live in this format with us because I feel like we provide the atmosphere for you to thrive most. Like, you know, so it's like the people who thrive here, it just allows me to really become a deeper fan. And seeing, like, experiencing that today was like, and the human, you know, the human was like, bro, you one of us. And it's dope to see that shit because some people lose that vigor.
Yeah, and that's not to cut you off, but that's the vibe. Like, I knew it would be like this because it's the whole thing that drew me to this whole interview. So of course, naturally, when I came here, it was gonna be that because that's what drew me here is the interview.
Fact.
You could feel it when you rapping, like you still having fun. You have like a bounce, like a kid at a playground.
Yeah, I love it. I still love it like a child.
Damn, that's fire.
Oh,
yeah, I think we got him.
Yeah. I had one last question.
Come on.
Hey, what's up?
You've spent a lot of time, and even how you were saying, like, in and out of the industry. but you still love it. And I feel like people who have like this rise of success and all of this like experience within the industry, a lot of things that'll happen that'll like rob them of that love for the music. It becomes too much business and not enough music in the music business. How have you been able to like balance that and not allow anybody to take that love of the music from you?
A lot of that, like instantly, as soon as you said it, the first thing that came to my mind was loving yourself. That's the first thing that came to my mind. You don't allow somebody to take something from you when you love yourself on a certain level. And it becomes bigger than not taking somebody, not allowing somebody to just take music. You don't allow anybody to take anything from you when you get to that point. You know? So, yeah.
Damn.
It was something else I was gonna add on to it. What was I about to say? It left my mind.
That was a bar. You feel like that? Yeah, you feel like that like grew as you got older, or you kind of just always been centered in that since entering?
As far as, say it again.
As far as like knowing like I'm not gonna let nobody take this from me. Like I love it too much to allow anybody to dilute.
I've always been like that. Like I've the way I love music, like I'm so immersed in it that the thought of somebody taking it from me is they're like, what are you saying? It's like taking an organ out of my body.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Like give you a kidney or my heart or something? Like no, it's like so I can't even understand the concept of taking it from me. It is me. You can't take it from me. It's like a bee. I would die if you take the stinger out of me.
Oh, he's so good. Sheesh. Wow.
And this been another legendary episode of Free Game
With TWISTA.
The content that's finna come from this. Look, I just gotta break this down. We've only been hanging out for probably like 2 hours now. Within those 2 hours, we done did 5 things. And every one of those things is finna go do what it's gonna do in the world. And we got more we ain't done.
We ain't done.
And he one take dumb. Like when y'all see him, just know he one take dumb. The only reason why the first take ain't is because we was like, let's do it again. But he one taked everything.
You hear me?
Hey, it was fun. And then I'm in front of y'all, man. I can't, I had to try to put some work in. I couldn't come in here lollygagging or half-assing. So I tried to, make sure that I impress just as much as I am impressed.
Hey, you know what I love? Raleigh hit me the other day and he was like, when we do the live tracks, is the vocals gonna be on it or no? And I was like, no, no, it ain't.
Yeah. So I was mad already. So I was mad. I was like, and so I already knew the mentality without even talking to you. So I was telling Raw, I was like, he was like, no, we don't do that. We MCs. I was like, yeah, Raw. I was like, don't even bring it up no more. Trust me, I already know what's going on.
Yeah, man, you know what's up.
I put the instrumental on and I started making sure I had myself.
And that's how you get to it.
I love it.
And I love that. I seen you on the side, like while the beat is playing, and I could see you over there mouthing it, and just like you was in the zone. It was just to have you be so iconic, and then watch you rehearse. Like we had Saweetie here recently, and she was rehearsing in the same way. It's like those are the fundamentals. You never stray from those.
Yeah. That's when you're around a real rapper or a real MC or somebody that's passionate about their craft. And then sometimes people have perfectionist things that go on. So me being a perfectionist, I'll sit in there and like I find comfort in that repetition. Like a lot of times if I'm nervous, I heard Peyton Manning once say that he kills his nervousness with practice and repetition. So that when he actually gets there, yeah. So practice and repetition.
You know he did
important.
it. Right. You know he did the work. I got before we wrap it. This is our first manufactured basketball. And I would like you to sign this.
That's
because
dope.
we're going to frame this thing.
Wow.
And you heard?
I'm left-handed, so.
That's legendary.
Okay. I'm definitely going to sign it. Can I sign it anywhere?
Wherever.
Okay, this is my spot right
here. Damn. We got to get a trophy case.
Yeah.
It always looks the same.
Wow.
Sheesh.
TWISTA, free game. You heard?
Free game, baby.